Welcome back. I'm Kelly.
I'm Tutor.
I'm TJ.
Today we're going to talk about all school things Mexico. And we have our special guest here.
Hola, soy TJ. Tengo 10 años. Voy a la escuela en México y me gusta mi escuela.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So the first school that we found when we were living in La Paz was a Montessori. And that was our first experience, I believe, with that, at least with TJ. And we absolutely loved it. The staff was great. They're very attentive. If you had anything you had to address, it was addressed that day.
The reason why we did that was we wanted him to learn Spanish, that we have mentioned that in previous videos. And so that's why we thought all Spanish was the best option for us. It was kind of like baptism by fire. We were just going to throw him in there, and he was just going to have to figure it out once he got there. And that's honestly how it happened. So do you remember the first time you went to school here? All Spanish?
Complicated.
Okay.
The first time it was.
What was complicated about it?
Speaking Spanish. Understanding anything.
Okay. Prior to us sending him to school, I probably should have mentioned that. We did get private lessons for him.
That summer before he started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we found an awesome tutor. She came to our house 3 days a week for an hour each time, lessons for TJ, and that helped a lot. So once he was thrown into school, obviously it was still an adjustment for him, but he had some basics, right?
We were binging on Duolingo at the time, and I know probably a lot of people use Duolingo or have used it. I don't know if I would swear by it the way we did in the beginning, because you still need to be conversational with someone outside of the app, I think, in order for you to be successful. And then once you got into school, obviously that was a whole new world, because listen to someone speak, and when they speak at a rapid pace, it's a whole, it's very different than listen to your Duolingo app speak.
Also, like, our expectations going into this was not like focused on him, like, okay, we expect him to do really well in his math and his language, language arts or whatever it was. Our focus was the Spanish. So that was our main focus. If he was struggling, at least, he's learning.
Going back to when you first went to school and your communication with the kids in school, you said you thought it was difficult.
I mean, it took some time, but it did get somewhat easy, or somewhat not complicated, or complicated, but not like super difficult.
We are 3 years into this exercise. And so he's gone through multiple schools, and he's been doing it for a while. So what do you think your proficiency is right now speaking with kids in comparison to where you started? And do you have any difficulty whatsoever?
So currently, I'd say about 97, like 95% of the things they say I can understand. Maybe like 92 or somewhere near there. Before, I'd say probably 20%.
Okay. How do you feel, though, now knowing that you can communicate effectively? Does it make it easier for you to make friends in school?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Thinking? Or you answered the question?
I answered it.
A man of few words. What do you wish somebody who's watching what do you wish they would know about the schools in Mexico? Or just your experience here?
You can't learn a language completely in a year. Not completely. Maybe close, but you're not learning it in a year.
That's a good one because this one over here, this one, used to think TJ was gonna learn it in a month, 2 months. Remember, like he's not like he'd come home from school, his first school in La Paz, and he's like, I don't know if he's learning. I don't know if he's. And I'm like, it takes time.
So if you don't know us and this is the first time watching one of our videos, one of the things I can promise you, and you can probably tell from our videos, is that we are not scripted, right? I was not expecting that answer just now. And 100% they're both very correct. So how many teachers do you have in your class?
At a time, normally one.
One at a time? All right. Go back real quick. Were the kids friendly to you when you first started, when you didn't know Spanish?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I knew some, but not much.
You knew some Spanish?
But not much.
Okay.
No. So what activities? What different classes or subjects do you do that are fun? So you have your everybody's usuals, but then you have what else?
English class, kung fu, dance, yoga.
You do some schoolwork too, right?
Yeah. Mom said that are fun.
Well, just to put out there that, yeah. Okay, what's your favorite subject? Favorite class?
Favorite class is math.
That's good. How does lunch work? Do they provide lunch? Can you buy snacks or lunch? Do you have to pack your own? How does that work at the school, TJ?
So, from the majority of the schools I've went to, no, they do not have food there. You bring your own lunch. But at the one I currently go to, you can bring your own lunch and you can buy some.
I usually just keep some pesos in his lunchbox, pack his lunch or whatever, and then if he wants to get a little snack from the little stand, then do that.
So this part TJ doesn't know because that's what we do, but what is the average for monthly school fee?
I feel like average is around 200 to 300. Do you think?
Okay. Yeah.
From
I
like
think
our
so.
La Paz time into here,
Yeah.
and this is that. And that, well,
I think
and it
it's
can go higher too,
Maybe closer
depending.
to 300.
Yeah.
Right now he goes to school from 8 to 2
Mm-hmm.
every day. And so that's quite a bit of time. The public schools, I don't believe, run that many hours.
I believe it's 8 to 12 every day, so it's a lot shorter. So I think a lot of doesn't apply here, but local families, or I guess even foreigners, they prefer the private because their kids are in school a little longer, and if they're working families or whatnot, it helps. What if a family's moving to Mexico and the child's nervous about starting school in Mexico? What advice would you give them?
Be nice to the kids and they'll be nice to you.
Okay, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about going from wearing regular clothes every day to wearing a uniform?
Wearing different clothes. Not
So
really
you're-
much.
Nothing much? Okay. All right. Because I recall at one point you did not want to wear uniforms.
Yeah, I didn't want to because I like wearing normal shirts, but
No big deal.
yeah, no.
What would you do differently with regards to TJ and him going to school?
Besides the changing different schools, which that was out of our hand, if we maybe when we were buying here, maybe before we started building, we started looking at school options just to see your options. But besides that, I'm really happy that we got him in when we did. It wasn't easy at the beginning for TJ or for us. There were some struggles, but it's paying off now. And TJ, we keep telling him, or like, it's such a gift that he's learning Spanish now.
Kelly did hit it on the head. Do your research ahead of time and make sure that the grades that you're looking for are there. And if you're only going to be there for, say, 5 years, and then you're going to leave in 5 years, but there is no middle school or high school or whatever it is, so you won't need those grade options, then fine. That's not a problem. But if you know that you're going to be there for a long period of time, you're going into a really small town, like say where we are, but the only option when it comes to middle school, it's a bottleneck to get there, and then all the kids are trying to get there, then that could be a problem. And that is what we're coming upon pretty soon. Thank you for being in the video. Is there anything that you want to say before you go in Spanish?
Gracias por invitarme. Adiós.
What does that mean? Thanks for the invitation.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Adios. All right. Well, there you go. You'll probably never see him again for another 2 years.
We may have bribed him with some ice cream later today.
May? I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified next time we make a video.
Adios.
Adios.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below.